Hey book nerds, I am going to talk about the last three books that I have read. Starting with the last one. All Lined Up by Cora Carmack. This was really fun. It's a new adult romance set in a Texas university. It's totally like Friday Night Lights meets college, and it was really fun, told in a dual narrative between Dallas and Carson. Dallas, her whole entire life has been football. Her dad has been the coach at every school she has gone to, and she thinks she's finally going to get away from football, which she hates, and do something by herself. And her dad gets the coaching job at Rusk University where she is going to, and she is not happy. And her ex-boyfriend, quarterback, goes there too. So yet again, she becomes the coach's daughter. And then we have Carson, who is going to be a walk-on on the team to try to be a second-string quarterback. He's a transfer student, and he just wants to work hard enough to get on the team so maybe he can get a scholarship. Dallas and Carson meet at a party where she is trying to escape some annoying football players who are having a bet to see who can bang her first. And so she jumps off a balcony and ends up talking with Carson. They have no idea who the other one is, and so un-Dallas-like, she ends up kissing him, and they have this instant attraction until they find out that she's the coach's daughter and she has vowed not to date players, and she knows her dad would be pissed. And so they try to work out this relationship. It was sexy. It was fun. That tension between them, her being the coach's daughter and him being a player, was great. And they both had their own storylines. Carson trying to work hard to get on the team and trying to really focus, and Dallas really wants to get out of her dad's shadow and out of football's shadow, and she wants to pursue her dreams, which are dancing. I liked it. It wasn't amazing. It was just a fun romance. Totally broke the mold of a lot of the new adult books that have become the cliches. There was a lot going on. There was no angstiness or anything like that. It was just a good, fun romance that will make you want to rewatch Friday Night Lights or watch it for the first time if you have not yet watched it. The book before that, I don't even know why I'm going to talk about this book because everybody except me has read it, but I'll give you a little backstory. It is the book that I have been most afraid to read for the past 2 years due to personal things, subject matter. If you don't read my blog and you only subscribe to my channel, you might not know this, but I lost my mom to cancer, oh God, in 2006. So I tend to read books. I'll link to a post I wrote in the bottom, but I tend to read books that deal with grief, especially about teens losing parents. And I explain why. I'm a glutton for punishment in that way, but it's actually really therapeutic for me to read them. But I have this author, you probably just saw the book. This author has been one of my favorite authors for a while, but I could not read this book, even though I pre-ordered it. I just couldn't. I know how this author's words affect me, and I knew if anybody could write a book about cancer that would wreck me, like completely wreck me, it would be this author. So I finally manned up because you will see on the blog, I got to be on a phone interview with this author. Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Yes, I got the awesome experience to be on a group phone call interview thing with John Green, and it was awesome, and I will link to that in the bottom. Between all the hype and my own personal reasons for being scared of this book, it took me forever to read it. But The Fault in Our Stars was better than I could have expected. Honestly, I read it and the hype just melted away. I just felt like it was me in this book. It is funny. It is heartwarming. It is not a cliched, oh my God, I'm getting emotional about this book. It is, can anybody review this book on video and not start crying about it? I'm just going to hold the book like this. Can you see? I'm going to sit back like this. It is, I sobbed, but I laughed, and it wasn't a story about cancer. That's what I thought it was going to be, like this vivid story of cancer, and it wasn't. It was about living your life, and we're all in the same boat as them if you think about it. They might have sort of a better handle on the fact that they might die with cancer, but we're all going to die, and it's just really about living your life in those moments, the small moments, and just living them. And it wasn't trying to teach you anything or become super inspirational, but it became inspirational without trying, subtly. It just filled your heart, and honestly, it made me want to live better, and it made me think about what a good life constitutes. Gus and Hazel have very different ideas of that. Hazel, she's fine with living a small life but filled with greatness, that in these small moments. She doesn't need anything heroic, whereas Gus wants to go out with a bang. He wants to live heroically in a big way, and it's just about leaving that mark. I cannot keep talking about this book or I'm going to start crying, but if you have not read it yet and you want to read it but you've been afraid of it, I highly suggest it. It wrecked me in places, but it did not wreck my soul. As my friend Tiffany put it, it is soul elevating, and I 100% agree with that. This is a great book, and I cannot wait to see the movie. And the last book I read, which I featured in a Date with a Bookshelf recently, is Wish You Were Italian by Kristen Ray, set in Italy, and it was just as cute as I thought it would be, except better. It's not a favorite book by any means, but it was just a fun armchair adventure. Main character, her parents, her mom especially, is pushing her to go to this art program in Italy, which is like a dream come true for anybody, but she doesn't want to do art. That is not what she wants. And so she goes, and she has a little bit of time, and she decides, YOLO, let's go explore Rome for a little bit before I have to go to this program. And she meets this American guy, and she spends the day with him, and then she meets a girl in a gelato shop. And between the two of those things, she decides she's going to go with this new girl that she has met, stay with her in another part of Italy, and she is going to work at their restaurant and live with them and just explore Italy instead of going to this art program. But then she also, one of her goals for this trip is to fall in love with an Italian man, and so she has met a cousin of the girl she's staying with who is kind of a player, but he's super dreamy and flirts with her, and so she ends up really having to balance not letting her parents know that she is ditching this program and trying to balance her love life between an American and Italian while having a great time in Italy. It was fun, it was sweet. It actually made me cry, which if you read it, you'll find out why. But it was just a really fun book, and I definitely do recommend it if you're looking for something really fun this summer. Some sort of adventure, romance, definitely. It's definitely a romance. Super cute. Hope you get to it. So those were the last 3 books that I have read. I would love to know what the last 3 books you have read, so leave that in the comments so I can see what you've been reading. And I would love for you to just give me like a mini sentence review of if you enjoyed it or not. So that's it for me, and I will be back eventually with the next 3 books that I have finished. Hope you're reading something good, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!